Good afternoon, everyone. Today we are here to learn how to make a web scraper. So, first of all, before all this stuff, we need to install two major libraries. Also, in case you do not know, I am using a Google Colab environment because it is free, easy to use, and can be modified to a certain extent. So, first of all, you need to install a library called request. So for that you need just type this and then press run. I have all this code in our GitHub guest link in the description. So now here it says requirement already satisfied because I have already installed it. Similarly, install Beautiful Soup. Remember to add this exclamation mark called a bang behind it. Again, Beautiful Soup is also installed. Now, now let's get to the code. But before that, we need to learn about ethical hacking. Because in many websites, there is a page called robots.txt. The robots.txt file specifies how often you can scrape data and whether you can scrape data or not. So remember to check the file before you scrape, or else you might face difficulties such as copyright violations, etc. Now, in this tutorial, we will use that now in this tutorial we will use quotes.toscrape.com. This website, quotes.toscrape.com, is a safe website for scraping practice. So now, first we need to define the URL. Right. So this, so we assign a variable called URL to this website. Remember to put it in single quotes. Now, remember to replace this website with the website you want to scrape after checking the ethical hacking and robots.txt. Now, it's a good now it's a usually it's a practice to include user agent headers to mimic a real browser. User agent headers are used so that the website understands that this is not a robot. In this context, a robot is this program, is not a robot but an actual browser. In reality, this is not true. In reality, this is not true, but we need to do it so that there might not be errors or something big problems with it. Now we need to use the request library. Now, request library. Response equal request dot get URL headers equals headers. Right. Now we need to check if the request was successful. To check if the request was successful, you need to check the status code. The status code defines that what was the result of your request. So if status code is 200 as outlined over here, only then you can get the HTML context. Now we define another variable HTML content as response.text. Here as res, as request uh, you can use request or response whatever you want. Response.text. Here response is actually this function and text is a method of it. I'll tell you what methods are in other videos. Now, then we print successfully retrieved HTML content, or if the status code is not 200, say 404, etc., then with it prints fail to retrieve page and then prints the status code. And then the program exits. But if the request is successful, we can define a variable called soup. Here we are using these variables because it is a standard practice. Now, beautiful soup, which is this of HTML content, and then we specify another parameter called HTML parser. Also, if you might have noticed that if we hover over a function, the environment the environment shows you this pop-up, def HTML, this pop-up. And here, using this pop-up, we can find out what a specific function does from its documentation. I'll tell you all that later. Now, if you want, you can print the formatted HTML to inspect it. Inspection means to find out if it worked or not. Oh, I think it's yes. Now we can finally see the output. So here's the output. Right, right. And here, and successfully returned HTML content is printed here. A- And then we get the HTML code for the web script tags, etc. And therefore, our our video is a video is not complete yet. Now, if you want, you can experiment with it. Now you can experiment with it, play with it, do whatever you want with it. Right. So now we can add. Now we can add a comma and and it automatically has given a suggestion. To accept it, press tab. Now let's see if it gives a suggestion. Oh, another. Right. So if you want to know about these two, then check out my next video on advanced scrapping. Thank you everyone. Nice to meet you. Bye bye.